In 1954, the anti-comics crusade reached its peak as comic books were being blamed for corrupting children, and the backlash came from every direction. Parents, churches, politicians, even kids themselves started turning on comics. But this didn't just happen overnight. For over a decade post-World War II, people had been raising concerns, writing editorials, publishing studies, even organizing public comic book burnings. And to be fair, comics at the time were not just superheroes. Crime comics, horror comics, they were getting very violent and pretty graphic. There were real stories being shared, kids trying to imitate what they saw on the horror comics. And for a lot of parents, that fear felt very real. And then a respected child psychiatrist stepped in and gave all of that fear a voice. And his name was Frederick Wortham. He worked with child juvenile offenders and noticed a lot of them read comic books. So in his mind, comics weren't harmless, they were part of the problem. And in 1954, he published a book called Seduction of the Innocent. And once the book hit, everything escalated very quickly. His ideas spread through major magazines. Parents across the country saw it. And within days, the issue of comic books was now in front of the United States Senate. And the comic book industry saw what was coming, so instead of waiting for the government to step in, they stepped in themselves. And they created the Colics Code Authority in 1954, which was notoriously strict in banning scenes of excessive violence, brutal torture, gruesome crime, the words horror or terror in titles, sympathy for criminals, presenting police and judges in a disrespectful way, no vampires, ghouls, werewolves, or zombies, sexual content, including illicit relationships or suggestive illustrations, and sexual abnormalities or any hint of sexual perversion. The self-imposed Colics Code Authority immediately destroyed the popular horror and crime genres, causing publishers like EC Comics to go out of business. And the Colics Code Authority would hold for decades to come. It made comics a safe, wholesome medium for kids. But all that fear, all that backlash, it didn't just change comics, it limited what they were allowed to become, which would stifle the form for decades until the 70s and 80s when the direct market came out. And that's today's moment in comic book history. Full episode of Chediverse is out now. Check it out.